Think we're live. What's up, dudes? Yeah, I'm starting early. Yeah, that's right. I'm starting early. Merry Christmas, Isaac. All right, who do we got here? We got Mark, Mr. BHB Jr., we got Frank, we got Tony, we got Isaac, we got Dave, we got Mark again. I think it's the same Mark. Got Steven. Got Ben. What's up, Ben? Yeah, it's kind of my Christmas guitar, right? I mean, right? Isn't it kind of that? My condenser going? It is. I know, I'm early. What's up, Justin? Vintage Vinyl. Frank C. Dave. Trolls. Hummer. Brian. Mitch. Tank. We got Jude, we got Steve. We got Will. We got Beatmaster. We got Dry Heat. Thanks, buddy. Same to you. I'm so glad I got that Christmas tune out, right? Oh, took forever. And the funny thing is that that tune started as a completely different tune, and I just wasn't feeling it, and I completely just aborted mission. I just completely stopped the first one. No, I'm not going to do this, and that was the other one I came up with. I was like, okay, maybe I'll just do this, you know. And then when it's in 3/4, it's kind of a waltz. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Right, so that's a almost cancel. It sounds a little Weezer-ish. Windy and cold in Connecticut. We were really warm from the rain, but now we're chilling out again. What's up, Guitar Techs in Virginia? It's going to be that kind of night. No blinking lights this year? Yeah, no blinking lights, I know. Did I do blinking lights? Did I ever do blinking lights? I think I did one year, right? Was it live I did blinking lights? I forget now. That would be annoying for 2 hours. I might have done a video where I did blinking lights. That Christmas tune was great, brah. No, you rock. Thanks, buddy. Yeah, it was, that one shot, so I used the green guitar for the rhythm, right? And I did like maybe 2 or 3 tracks of rhythm, right? Because you want to pan left and pan right. Makes it sound much bigger. And then I used this guitar for the lead. I used 2 guitars. That was it, and the bass. You know, sadly, I didn't have a red or green bass, so I had to use the natural. Yeah, getting cold again. Yeah. Electro Mega. Oh, no, how much did I miss? Not much. I just started about 5 minutes ago. Strat looks sweet for the age. What year is it? This is a 1982, and I tell you, I totally scored with this guitar. It is in... These years are particularly bad for the paint. A lot of the paint just turns dark and like really, what do they call it? Orange peels, right? It gets that orange leathery look to it, right? Orange peeling. It's pretty bad. So this is such a good rendition, and This guitar is a regular Strat here. But if I turn this, see how much darker it just got? Versus, and that's because when you turn this knob, you get a whole new set of options, right? The options completely change. So you have like Bank A and Bank B. Bank A is a Strat. Bank B is a Strat in the down position only, and everything else is modified. It's pretty cool. So technically it has a lot more tones. And this one I paid $9.99 for, which is a smoking deal. I jumped on it the second it happened. Tony says, Merry Christmas, dude, is watching the video screen spin, open a new video. There you are, yeah. Thanks, buddy. Have you done a review on Bad Cat amps? I have not. Everything I've heard from Bad Cat sounds pretty damn good. I gotta say, they have a certain creamy sound to them, right? A really nice distorted, very creamy. If I had to call their distortion something, I would say creamy. What's up, Charles? What's up, Renato? Hot and sunny and sweaty in Brazil. Yeah, we're getting cold here. Only the gold flake bad on them. That looks like... Yeah, you know what? You're right, because what happens is it's got a gold undercoat, and it's got a clear cherry top. And what happened is that top coat would just fall off of the undercoat. So there's a lot of ones where you see a lot of just gold paint, the gold underpaint. In fact... I don't know if you could see it right here. It's probably not going to come through. Let me call my screen up here. Yeah. Can you see, like, right there? You see the gold coming through? See the gold underneath where it's been whacked? Right? Because it's lacquer, so it just chips right off. And, yeah, these guitars. And this one has it weighs a ton. It's just like an 11-pound guitar. Or 10 pounds. It's got all big giant brass, trim on it, and the brass knobs, and they're gold plated, and the gold plated tuners. And for 80 and 81, they didn't have the gold plated tuners ready, so they put them out with silver tuners and a silver logo, and so it was silver up here and gold down here. And then by 1982, they got their act together and discontinued the model. There is no 1983 of the Strat. They made these in red. They made them in blue. They made all kinds of crazy fade colors and stuff. They're super rare. There was a whole collector out there that really had like an amazing collection. The one to get is the one that's made of all walnut. Head to toe, pure 100% walnut. Walnut neck, walnut body, walnut everything. I think it's black. Everything in the gold. God, it looks amazing. Yeah, so the gold, it's brass, right? All the stuff is brass. It's gold plated. So when you buy gold plating, there's like federal regulations as to what you can call it, right? If you're less than 50 microns, you have to say like gold electroplating, right? Or something like that, or less than not 50 microns, 0.5 microns, something like that, right? Like a half a micron or more to call it like gold plated. And most stuff is like a micron or whatever. If you have something that's going to touch a lot of stuff and you don't want it to wear off, right? Like really like nice fancy stuff, might have like 20 microns of gold plating, right? That's for like watches and stuff that you don't want it. It could get scuffed up. You don't want to lose the gold on it. With this, they went with the most expensive process they could, 100 microns of gold plating, that was the most you could get. And gold prices shot through the roof, and the cost of the production of this guitar was killing them. And wiring that, remember I told you it had an A trunk and a B trunk? If you open this up, it's like an octopus under there with wires. I guess the wiring on this took like forever. And So it was killing him in labor costs. This guitar was a huge, huge miss for them. And if you look at the headstock, it's way cut wrong. It's supposed to be the small one, but they cut it like a little too small, right? Fender in 1982. Hey, what's up, Krellbar? Merry Christmas. What's up, Zach? We take a look here. Sorry, guys. Sometimes I don't pay attention to the, to the feed here. What's up, Coots? You like the look of gold hardware? I go in and out on it. I'm mostly out on it, but yeah, in the right situation, the gold can look really good. This is one of the few situations where I really think it works, The thing is, and I don't know if you know the backstory. I had one. I got one of these for Christmas in 1981. 1981. We went down to EU Wurlitzer and we bought one of these. It's kind of a funny story. If you want to talk funny stories, we could talk a funny story, This the summer of '81 is kind of a funny summer. So cut a year before, right? Fall of 1980. I get the Ibanez Les Paul. Right, I'm 14, just starting high school, and I get the Ibanez Les Paul with the DiMarzio Super Distortions in it, and I'm just flying high. By that spring, by like April, I'm like freaking out. I want a Strat so bad. I'm like obsessed with getting a Strat. So I looked through, we had a couple of Juan Advertiser. One was literally called the Juan Advertiser, and the other one was called the Bargain Hunter, which is more like a low rent Juan Advertiser. People in New England know what I'm talking about. And so I'm looking through. I read those like religiously. I'm going through and I find a Strat, 73 Strat, for like $300, which is like $100 cheaper than the next cheapest Strat in there. And I convinced my dad to go buy me the Strat. So we went down. It was in South Boston, down on K Street, and we went down and we buy the Strat. And I remember showing it to a friend of mine. He was like so bummed. He's like, "Dude, you're killing me," because he had like a Hondo Les Paul. So that summer, give the kid some credit. He busted his ass all summer, working for the town, blowing dirt out of parking lots and, general landscaping work and, mopping halls and cleaning up. And he earned that summer, remember, this is 1981. You're not earning a ton of money. And by the end of the summer, he had enough to, he had like $500 or $600, he could spend on a guitar. And he went out and we went to a guy out in Walpole, and he sort of ran a little business out of his house. And we got a Fender the Strat, not a Fender the Strat, Fender 25th anniversary Strat. This is the Strat. He got a Fender 25th anniversary, which is silver. It's got the oversized headstock. It's got a 4-bolt. It says 25th anniversary, like right here. And I'm like, the guitar was gorgeous. And, remember, we're buying this in 1981. The guitar is like 2 years old. It's in like mint condition. So we take it back. We go to my house, and because we're going to have like a little Strat party. All right, I got my Strat. He's got his new Strat. We're going to go to my house. And we go to the house, and we had like a 3-season porch, right? And we're in the porch, and we're playing. We got an amp going or whatever. And my dad, it's got like French doors with all little panes of glass. He sees me through there, and he comes in, and he saw like my friend's new guitar. I remember my dad knows this kid's dad. So he's like, you know, so I go out there. He goes, what's that? I'm like, that's his new guitar. He's like, what? He goes, yeah, we just went out and he just bought it. He goes, huh? He goes, well, maybe you need a new guitar. I mean, it was straight out of, what do you think, you're better than me? I was like, sure. This was the guitar, right? Not this one, but this is what we wound up doing. I swear to God, that was the fall of '81. Probably bought that guitar in September, maybe October. And by like the 1st of November, or like it was like, maybe, you know what? It could have been like a Black Friday sale before they had Black Friday sales. E-Worlds, who was doing the Strat for like, it was normally like $6.99 or something like that. They were doing it for like $5.50. We went down and we bought it. And you know what? I played it for a couple of years, but compared to the Les Paul, which had humbuckers in it, you know, I wasn't too crazy about the single coils. I never really was into the Strat back then. I was way too heavy. You know, it's like it wasn't strong enough. And so eventually, of course, I got rid of that and I got a Kramer, which was basically a Strat with a Floyd Rose and 2 humbuckers on it. So, I mean, it was such a what are you better than me move. How dare you go out and buy something nicer than my son? I was like, okay, knock yourself out. Thing is, it's like I had to beg to get him to go and buy that first Strat for $300. I mean, I was like, you have no idea how cheap this is. It's so much cheaper. And no it was. Like, we wound up trading in the Strat. They gave us like, I want to say we paid $300 and they gave us like $325 on a trade-in. I remember we went there and we were trying out to go buy one of these. We went and we go, he said, he was like, you know, why don't you try out a few guitars? So yeah, this is Christmas 1981. And so I tried out a Hamer V, which was, I gotta say, pretty kick-ass. That was a USA-made V. I tried out a Gibson Victory, okay, which was Gibson's answers to a Strat. A Gibson Victory, which thank God I didn't buy that. They were notoriously crap. Right, that's Norland years, right, 81. And I wound up going with the Strat. The Strat came out, he opened that case, it was brand new, he took it out of the box, opened out the case, opened it up. I was like smitten. I was like, no, that's what I want. I want a red one. I'm like, all right. So we had my 73 Strat, which of course is worth like, you know, $4,000 today. So we had like my 73 Strat, and it was hardtail. Man, we put it up on the counter. In the case, open. It had the orange lined case, right? The old orange lined Fender case. The new one was the new PVC, and it was like black lined. And I remember the guy checking it out, and he goes, "I'll give you $325." And I turned to my dad, and I was like, "That's more than we paid for it." And my dad shot me a look like, "Shut up!" He goes, "That is not." He goes, hello? He goes, "That's not what we paid for it. That's what we told your mother we paid for it, okay? Big difference." Now, I was there when he bought it. I know he paid $300 for it. So he turned to the guy, he says, "I'll tell you what, I'll give you $300 cash in this guitar. I don't want to hear about tax. I don't want to hear about anything. I'm talking $300 in cash in this guitar. That's my offer." The guy says, "All right, I'll do it." You know? What's up, Rick? I want a hardtail. I've been dreaming about getting one of those hardtail Strats, you know. about your P90s with these here. But, you know, it's a Harley Benton. I don't know that those are the greatest pickups, you know, in the world. They do sound pretty decent, but I'll bet if I put, like I said, like Lindy Fralins in there, you know, it would be probably a little bit better experience. Oh, look, Krail Bar. Lights came on. Look at you. Nice. It's a Christmas miracle. Paul, I have a mint 25th anniversary for you, Steve. Oh, do you? God, that would bring me back. I actually looked for one. There was a guy on eBay selling out a collection. He had, you know, they were going up there for like, geez, between like $850 and like $1050, depending on the shape. Like really mint ones going like $1,000, $1,050. Now they seem to be getting more like $1,500, you know, $1,800. But that guy had a couple of the white ones, right? The super rare white one. So if you don't know the backstory, Fender released it in a special 25th anniversary white, and the paint like just chipped and fell off like crazy. But not everybody. You could bring your guitar back and trade it for you could turn it in for warranty service, and they'd basically just send you a silver one. And they went with a silver paint that did stick to the guitar. So the silver ones are very, very, you know, prominent out there. Like that's like 99% of your market. But there are a few of the white ones. The white ones definitely do make it out there a little bit. I've seen some of the white ones, and of course the paint looks like garbage, all cracked, like all over. Some of them big pieces of the paint missing, but I don't know. That's a little bit of history, right? It's a little bit of the Fender like debacle, the debacle years. Steve, thoughts on scalloped fretboards? I like them. I have a scalloped fretboard on my RG 560. It's, you know, it takes a little bit to get used to. It's not immediate, but boy, once you get used to it, I find that the bending on it is just so much easier. You need a little bit lighter touch. I recommend using a little bit heavier string, not to push it out of tune so much, but or you need a really light touch. What's up, John Doe? Happy holidays to you too. Yeah, scallop fretboards are like sprinting across ice. Yeah, right? Yeah, except this way it can be, right, so it's the world's highest frets. It's the world's tallest fret system. But you get used to it. You really do. You know, I guess the hardest part is sliding. But, you know, you're sliding on the string. So, what's weird is that when you use it and you go back and you play a regular guitar, you feel the fingerboard underneath and it feels cramped, right? You're like, what's all this garbage under my strings? Why are my strings all cramped like this, right? It feels like you're working in a more confined space. Did I find one? What a oh, look, it's Mr. Baker flaunting his check mark. Look at you. He's all verified now, guys. He's gone Hollywood. $25th anniversary is 1K beat up, but 3K mint. Yeah. If you want one like brand new, I guess, yeah, they'd be up there. I see them on Guitar Center used pretty cheap though. Usually under $2,000, with varying degrees of golding. You know what I'm talking about, right, Al? Some of them, I guess, that they got too much UV light. They seem to have turned gold over the years. But you know, probably through a yellowing. But some are not. Some are just gorgeous. I mean, they look perfect. So I don't know what causes the yellowing. I'm assuming ultraviolet light. Respect the check. Don't you be sassing me, boy. Blocking of Floyd Rose thoughts. You know, I don't know. I get it. What, so it won't pull up? It's probably a good idea if you're never going to do that. I like them floating. Just a personal preference. But, yeah, if you don't want it to pull up. If you want to block it completely so it doesn't move, then I'm like, well, what's the point of having a Floyd? Just get a hardtail. Because you'll probably lose a little bit of, transfer by having a big floating tremolo that's blocked. Although that block will transfer a little bit more now, with all that contact. But, I don't know. Floyds are meant for whammying. Buddy, I gotta know what's your favorite overdrive pedal. I like the Seymour Duncan 805. It's a pretty good overdrive. I like the Tweedy series, right? Big Tweedy, little Tweedy. What else do I have for overdrives? I'd have to look through. See, the DC drive feels more like a distortion than an overdrive. I don't know if they're calling it an overdrive. I think it's more of a distortion. That sounds really good. It's a strong pedal, though. There's a few out there. I like the Dan and Mick drive. That sounds pretty good. It's like an overdrive and a boost, and they can be put together. I got you in the Floyds. It happens. They're good. Steve Wynn, TH3 with Patsy used for Strat. More blue sound. Kind of the one I'm using now, though this is a little bit more rock. This is called Contemporary Blues 2. So Contemporary Blues 1 and Contemporary Blues 2 are pretty much the same pedal, except for this isn't as strong. That's Contemporary Blues. If you've downloaded my bank, it's patch number 10. Scrolling down, some of the ones I've really messed with. Contemporary Blues 2 is this one. Adds a delay. And that Tube 9 gets cranked up quite a bit to add a little bit more. A little more oomph. Something like that. Is a mandolin tuned like a guitar? I don't think so. I think it's tuned in fourths, right? Like a violin. Mandolin, violin. You post a link for your Pastor THC. It's in one of the, I think it's in the last video, or the video before that. Yeah, and Gary says the same thing. It's on my Facebook page. What's that system I'm using? TH3. I'm using software. Yeah, heavy jailbreak, heavy play on V66. What, like the drive doing a countdown? Doing a countdown. Yeah, someone, hold on. There we go. All right, someone handled it for me. Someone just posted the link in the, someone beat me to it. Someone posted the link in the chat. Just follow the yellow chat road. What's on the Christmas list this year? You know what I'd really like to get, and I'm just eyeing some of the boxes under the Christmas tree. I'm pretty sure I got it. I wanted to get a new pressure washer, one that's a little more powerful than the electric one I have, and probably not as powerful as my gas, but at least it will start, and I won't rip my shoulder and arm out tugging on that thing for like 40 minutes until finally I give up and I just scream, you know, I hate you. It's like so sick of, you know, that it's a Craftsman. And I tell you, man, that thing, it would start and it just wouldn't work. Then it would start and it would stall as soon as you press the gas, because it's like flood. There are no adjustments on it. It's like there's no carb adjustments. It's all the same. It's overly complicated. So I said, you know what? I just need a plug and go. I need a pressure washer. Okay, I can't live without a pressure washer. Okay, the list of things I use a pressure washer for too long to go through right here. But God, I love pressure washing, and it's so satisfying to just pressure wash everything: lawn, furniture, the grill. The driveway, you know, I mean, everything. I love it. Yeah, to prep for painting. I mean, God, the list is so long. And, you know, so that'd be huge. I'd love a new bird feeder. My bird feeder was destroyed by squirrels. So I could use a new one of those. Maybe covered in spikes. And, you know, that's about it. It's a short list. Powerful dad move, exactly. I'm just, again, you know, it would work, and it would work for like a whole season. And then just nothing. And you know what it is that carb has these tiny little micro holes, and they just get gas trapped in there. And it doesn't come out. Even if you run it dry, they don't dry out, and they stay in there, and it thickens up and turns to friggin' gel as the gas breaks down, and now you got like a clogged jet. And, you know, unless you pull that carb apart, you get in there with like guitar strings would probably work, and start needling some of those jetways, you know, it's dead on arrival. It's like, I'm sick of working with gas. Tank Shred said use the pressure washer on the squirrels. Now you're getting somewhere. Dude, get an Instant Pot. I actually got one of those for my wife. It's kind of a thing. God, those Instant Pots are like it's turned into it's got a section in the goddamn bookstore, for Christ's sakes. You play a little Sean Lane? Not really. The closest thing I know to Sean Lane is a Paul Gilbert lick that he readily admits he stole from Sean Lane. I'm gonna butcher it, so let me add a lot more distortion and delay. We gotta cover this up. We gotta cover this up real hard. All right, here we go. All right, so it's basically a pentatonic in like two. Right, because he would do these crazy. Right, that's like at 1/5 speed. All right, never ask to do that again. Ow! Ow. I got an Instant Pot last year. Love it. Never cooked before that. Wife loves it, so I like it. Yeah, I've heard great things. You know what? My wife asked for a rice cooker, and in my journey to find a rice cooker, people were like, "Don't, just forget the rice cooker. Just get an Instant Pot," and so I did. It's the Strat, yeah. Sounds good even at 1/5 speed. Thank you. Thank you. Speed that up 5x if you want to hear how it really sounds. that would be huge is it this that acoustic? This one here? That one? Trying to see what acoustic you're looking at. I gotta think you're thinking of this one. That's actually a parlor guitar. That's pretty small. That's not a big guitar. Just that this is a mini size. So everything looks enormous relative to it. Stabilize your fuel. I do use stabilizers, Mark. You know, I have discovered the world of stabilizers. And I do stabilize it, but I don't know, man. It's fighting me. It's goddamn fighting me. Now, my mower works fine. My snowblower starts first pull. You know, I just think it's a bad design. And, you know, I'm not the only one. If you go over there, it's an absolute shit show down in the comments for that pressure washer. You know, it's a bad design. So, could I use another gas one? Yeah. But how many PSI do I need? I think the electric one is up to like 2,200 PSI. I think on my gas one, I was 2,800 PSI. I'm not losing that much. I think my other electric is 1,200 PSI, and I noticed that. So when I'm at 1,200 PSI with my little mini electric, that's kind of weak. So I figured, you know what? Let me get to 2,200 PSI and see if that just works for me. And I don't even have to deal with it. All I have to do is pressure wash, you know, the trash barrels and, you know all that stuff you do. All right, we're going to work on that a little bit. You got to get the... Oh. You bastard. Yeah, it's getting deep, right? Who knew there were so many things to think about pressure washing? Yeah, you know, I like a good, 90-degree semi-fan. I know, it's the ethanol in the gas. You're right, Todd. It's the ethanol. It just turns to gum. You were exactly right. It's goddamn ethanol. Thanks, corn. Can you play Light Up the Sky? Let me think about that. You know, for the contribution, I'm going to look it up. Hold on. altbinaries.guitar.tab. Just a sec. I'm assuming. What album is Light Up the Sky on? I want to say that's VH2, right? Van Halen 1. Of course, there's Van Halen. Fair Warning. I have a VH2? Hmm. Maybe I don't. Oh, VH1, VH1. A ton of Van Halen 1. VH2, right. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's VH2. So hold on, let me see. VH. Why am I not seeing it? Ooh. That might be it. Yeah, that's You Are No Good. So I'm in the right spot. All right, dance the night away. Somebody get me a doctor. That's a good one, too. All right, let's stay focused. Oh, bottoms up. All right, stay focused, stay focused. Ooh, Out of Love again. All right, again. All right, here we go. Light Up the Sky. Oh, right. That's, I'm screwing it up. There you go. Took a second, but we got there. You got that Strat. Play some Yngwie. I can't really play Yngwie. It's, you know, not really my thing. Do I know Gold Gin Kiss? No, but I know Cold Gin. Michael Anthony's officially reuniting with Van Halen in 2019, according to inside sources I heard he Trunk mentioned on the show. You know, that would be great. You know, Michael deserves to be in the band. The guy can sing his ass off. And, you know, he's the OB. He's the original bassist. So that, you know, yeah, it's like, you know, he gave Wolfie 2 big tours in the whole touring experience, but now it's time to bring the fan favorite back, you know. Yeah. Hey, Ken, Merry Christmas to you too, man. Little Ted Nugent. So is Roth going to be in there? Sammy will be Sammy. You know, quite frankly, it should be both. You know, you want to make some money, Van Halen? I mean, not that they need to do this to make money, but, you know, I say do a best of both worlds tour and get, you know, Dave out for a couple of songs. You bring Sammy out for a few songs. Dave starts because he was the early material. They go through a kind of a chronology and end up with, you know, Sammy. And then Dave comes out at the end to do Ain't Talking About Love, right? I never played that on a Strat. Because this middle pickup is fighting me. My favorite Van Halen riff? I don't know if I have a favorite. He's got so many good ones. You know, it's hard to choose. You know, really. Guy was a riff master. It's like choosing your favorite Sabbath riff, you know, it's hard. Right, Fessler? Would be huge, right? Right? Yeah. Is DLR selling orthopedic devices now? He could be. I think what would happen would be, you know, maybe eventually David will be selling reverse mortgages or something. Well, no, not. I guess you don't have any sons because I'd love to tour with my son. Yeah, sure. But he already did it twice. He already did 2 tours with his son. 2 huge tours. You know? So it's been there, done that, right? You already did that. Was it 2 tours or 3 tours? He's done a bunch of tours. Did a tour in like 09, right? Or, yeah. To support Tattoo You, right? Or is that 010 or 012? They've done a few tours, either 2 or 3 tours. Van Halen's toured with the son, you know, with Wolfie. So it's not like they're saying never. It's like that's who they're touring with. I think they've already done it. You know, bring Mikey back. Hey, what's up, Kurt? He toured with Mike forever, but he hasn't been toured with him in a while. I think the fans are missing it, you know. You know, for as good as Wolfie is, his voice won't be as good as Mike's. Mike's got a killer voice. He really is that backup voice for Van Halen. Yeah, and I recently saw him with at a NAMM show. Mikey was playing bass with Leonard Skinner. And they did, like, you know, one of those NAMM ballroom shows that they always do. I think it was Blue Oyster Cult and Leonard Skinner. And Mikey was sitting in with Leonard Skinner. And, you know, he's singing backup. You could totally hear his voice. God, he sounded amazing. Maybe get Mike and someone wants Sammy there. No, I think that's what we're saying. We're saying get Mike and Sammy. Get Mike Anthony on bass, get Sammy singing front, and bring Dave too, right? 2 singers, and Mike, and you know the original 3 backup group, you know, Eddie, Alex, and Mike, and bring in you know, Sam and Sam and Dave, and do the to do the vocals. Have Dave come out first. And then Sammy can come out and finish up, and then, you know, they end the night doing it together on stage. Steve, how'd you get into the guitar music scene? Well, like most kids, you know, you identified with bands and realized that they were playing guitar. Took a while before I even knew what instruments I was hearing. Eventually you figure out it's guitar. Yeah, what about Gary? What about Gary Sharon? Yeah, let's never speak of that again. No. I mean, sure, why not? Bring Gary out for a tune. Dave doesn't like Sammy. Well, then leave Dave at home and bring Sammy out. Because Sammy, quite frankly, would put on a better show. I've seen him with Dave in '84. And I saw them in '84 with Dave, and I saw them with Sammy in like '85. I saw Dave's tour in like, I want to say '86 and '87 or '88. So I'm a few years. And, you know, and I've seen, Van Halen with Monsters of Rock. And then I think again after that they came through town. I've seen Van Halen a few times. But I haven't seen Van Halen since they came back with Dave. I haven't gone to any of those shows, so because of YouTube. Because almost every single show is completely uploaded to YouTube, even the one from my local area. So it's like you're not missing much. But yeah, I've seen them with both. And Sammy, man, it's a good show. I saw the Sammy DLR double bill way back. DLR sucked. He probably, yeah. You know, Dave, his voice hasn't aged, I think, as well as Sammy's. Everybody starts to lose their voice as they get older, right? Just happens. But I think Sammy's weathering the storm a little bit better. So, you know, Sammy's an old guy. He's up there. Yeah, Sammy really dug it. Yeah, it could be. You could be right, Green Meanie. It could just be too much baggage for it to happen, right? Not enough cabbage to offset the baggage. Yeah, Dave will speak his lyrics, hand the microphone out to the audience. Sammy's now 70. Yeah. See, they're getting up there, man. Losing voices, asked Paul Stanley. Yeah. Yeah, Paul. I'll tell you who still sounded good, though. I saw him in 2012. I thought Gene sounded good. Gene seems to be plugging along. But yeah, Paul, he's out. He's gone. I think it's over. Checking out this. Just admiring the guitar. Looking good. Steve, do you have a favorite era for Van Halen in terms of guitar tone? I really do like 1 and 2. I really like 2. I think 2 is like just such killer tone. And even, you know, Women and Children First. By the time you get to Mean Street, and I know a lot of people really love his tone on Mean Street, he's a lot more mid-pushed. It feels a little more compressed. I love, of course, you know, the first Van Halen album is just such a grail tone. Really is. Ace Frehley just put out a new album. Yeah, I listened to it. I thought it was sort of meh. Hey, you know, I thought Ace's new album was, it felt cobbled together. You know, I just thought it was okay. I thought his prior album where he did the covers was real good. I really enjoyed that album. You know, Bring Out an Ibanez. Yeah, I could. We could switch up to something. Got the Carvin. I haven't played the Carvin in a while. I got that nearby. Do I have an Ibanez? Well, I got this one always. It's red at least, very Christmassy. Yeah, Kiss is overrated. Of course, yeah. But, again, Kiss is just, it's a band that most people got into when they were younger. And it's sort of a nostalgia thing. "1984 is the best Van Halen album." Yeah, it's a pretty good one. A lot of people would agree with you on that. A lot of people think the first one was. Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of Carvin. But it's all from the same guy. It's all from Mark. It's like, I'm seeing Carvin. I'm like, wow, everyone wants the Carvin. That's the same guy. All right, I see one more for Carvin. It's the same guy. What's this red guitar? This is an Ibanez RG 3120. All right, you know what? I'm going Carvin. I haven't played that Carvin in a while. I'm going Carvin. Hold on. Oh, I'm going to turn my mic down because I don't want to pop your ears here. And I'm back. Oh, wait, you know what? I'm not even going to... Well, first of all, it's not plugged in. Hold on, let me just mute this right here. And on the mute, I'll just pull this out. Trying not to knock the guitar over. Come on. Oh, there we go. There we go. And then we unmute the mute. And then we're back. Okay. Let's check the old wing bone and what do. Touch sharp. Yeah, my guitars tend to go sharp when they're not being played. You know, if they just sit around, that's all sad. Again, just a... You know what I've been looking at lately is some of the music band guitars. How much easier that is on this guitar. Did I get it right? Guitar does sound good. That is in single coil mode. I don't like this guitar in humbucker. So there's single coil. There's humbucker. It's almost... You hear that? It's almost too much of like a vowel sound. Here it is with the single coil. It gets rid of all that mid push, you know. Oh yeah, show the neck. I don't know if you can see that. It's just a little bird's eye. Doesn't have too much to it. Just some bird's eyes and stainless steel frets. I think when I get too close, though, you don't get the... Hold on. Hold on. I'll bet I can screw this up real fast like. You see it? Even there it's a little hot. Let me see if I can. Bring that down a little bit. Yeah, it's a little tough to see. Anyway. I'm going to cancel. There we go. Yeah, Music Man, it's funny because I was looking at a couple of them. Like even I tell you a couple of the guitars I like their Cutlass. Really their Cutlass, which is their sort of Strat design, and the Valentine to some degree, and the Luke. But I think really the Cutlass is the one I've been really sort of digging. And yeah, it's got like a preamp in it. It seems to be an active pickup, and they say they do that to get rid of the noise. Some doors. No, the body is not a satin finish, although I know it's a little tough to see the gloss. I know, right? Isn't that blown out or what? Oh, maybe right... See right there? You almost saw it. I gotta get away. You see the gloss? See right there? Now you see the gloss. I just gotta get this far back. No, it's full-on gloss. But I know what you're saying, right? This far up, it's all blown out from the light. I don't think I know any Cult. Yeah, the doors go metal. comments on the importance of controlling humidity in your basement. The main thing about humidity in your basement is it's always higher, a relative humidity, than the outside. And so when the outside gets really humid, your basement can go through the roof on relative humidity. And that can lead to like mold and all kinds of problems. So for me, I run a dehumidifier in the summer. And you got to keep... that is one of the few things. And I spray for mold. And once in a while, I'll run even an ozone generator. Like a really over-the-top, crazy ozone generator. Mainly when the air isn't on, because I don't want it to circulate throughout the house. But I'll run it down here with everything sealed up, and then you wait for it to ozone breaks down in a few hours. But you wait, and then you have to open everything up and, you know, blow everything out. And that seems to work. That does a pretty good job. Some Janet Jackson. I don't think, probably only, what was it? Right. Is that Black Cat? What is ozone? Ozone is an O3 molecule. So there's atomic oxygen. You really want to get into this? There's atomic oxygen that's like O. Then there's molecular oxygen, which is what we breathe. That's O2. And then there's O3, right? It's got an extra oxygen atom on the molecule. That's ozone. It's not good for you. But the connection, the attachment of that third molecule is very tenuous. And when it touches other things, it breaks off and oxidizes it, right? It sheds that oxygen molecule. It gives it up, which smashes and pulverizes into the other molecules and oxidizes them. So for getting rid of odors, it's like unparalleled. Like if you had a fire or you had some big thing and they came and they cleaned your house, right? But they got to get rid of the smoke smell, they would use an ozone generator. If they're doing like a really big paint job where they're doing like a lot of interior paint and the whole place smells, they might use ozone to knock that out, because ozone dissipates. Ozone is very tenuous. It doesn't last very long and it breaks down. So ozone has got a bad rep because dummies would put it in their like air purifiers inside their house, and in the winter with all the windows closed, you would build up an unsafe level of ozone in your house. But you don't use it like that. You use it in, you basically set up an ozone chamber. In other words, my car. And I put things out there that stink to make them unstink. And let me tell you, it does work wonders. A guitar case that stinks like smoke, you can make that pretty much, you know, almost factory fresh with a couple of ozone treatments. It's amazing. Yeah, nitrogen is, but nitrogen's inert. Not quite as inert as something like, argon. So yeah, you know, what happens is that you get something that stinks so bad, or you have a problem, you need a solution. So my problem was I was having mold growth down here. Now I get guitar cases that stink. And the ozone generator solved both of those problems for me. You know, it helps kill the mold, and but not like bleach will, right? This is like you've already done a full bleach cleanup, and like you've really done everything. You've really mitigated the mold as much as you can. Your last little smash, your last little, you know, kick to the throat is the ozone generator. It does work wonders. The ozone gets generated through some electrostatic processes. like when they use the electrostatic electricity to put the the toner on the sheet in your laser printer, right? So it uses static to put it on the page, and then it drops it on the sheet, and then it runs it over a fuser, which melts it onto the page. So as that static generator works, it generates ozone, which is why when you print something out of your laser printer, you're like, man, it smells so fresh and clean, right? So you're smelling the ozone. But the ozone generator I have uses a plasma, like a little plasma creator, and damn, it puts out like an insane amount of ozone, an extremely dangerous amount of ozone that is not for breathing, but for getting rid of stank, getting rid of the cleaning up. I tell you, a guitar that showed up and had a little bit of stank on it was that 70s classic Strat, that white one, the Olympic white Strat I just got. I don't know if it was the crappy case they put in or whatever, but that guitar kind of had a little bit of a musty smell. I threw that in my minivan with the case, left the case open, put the ozone generator on the console in the middle, and ran that thing for about 40 minutes. It was like a brand new guitar. Like a brand new guitar. I was like, damn, this thing works good. I love the smell of ozone in the morning. Ozone actually does smell pretty good. We you know why? Because when it rains, it drags the friggin' ozone down from the sky, right? So after a rainstorm, when it cleans the air, we smell the ozone. We're like, oh, that smells so fresh. So Steve, your basement, your studio's in your basement, I assume. Yeah, I tell you, we've had a lot of rain. We've had the rainiest fall, and my pump has been working great. I'm crossing fingers. I may have solved that. I don't know. We haven't really had a huge rainstorm, so we'll see. But last spring was it broke me. I sat through 2 major floods down here, and I was like, I can't do this. It's like killing me. So that's when I did that. It took a while too, but I put a whole new. I literally took a jackhammer and jackhammered a larger hole through my foundation, and I went from a 3/4 inch pipe to a 1.5 inch pipe, so a lot more outflow. And I upgraded the pump and everything to a much higher GPH. So I'm crossing fingers. You know, that it's like the one thing that sucks about being down in the basement. There's so many good things about the basement. Temperature's cooler in the summer. You know, it's nice down here. Keeps everything sort of steady nitty for guitars. It's out of the way. If I have a really big amp, I can take it down the little staircase, like the little bulkhead door. I don't have to bring it through the house. Like, I've thought of moving up to the attic because that's a nice space up there. But, you know, it's hot in the summer. It's almost unusable in the summer months. It's just too damn hot. No, I've thought about it and thought about it. It's pretty much the basement. Yeah, the rain was idiotic yesterday, right? Right? It's like, you got to be kidding me. Ugh. I dig in there. Can you see that guitar with the full-blown rosewood? Oh, the one with the rosewood neck? That one's a little buried. That one's got 2 volas and a carving. Krell bar's carving. And I still haven't put away the. Well, it's got a bunch of guitars in front of it. That one's a little locked up. You know. Besides, I kind of like this carbon. I haven't played this in a while. You know, that's one thing about owning a bunch of guitars. It's like rather than going out and buying a new guitar, just pull one out of the back room you haven't played in a few months. It's like getting a whole new guitar. You're like, oh right, oh huh. So no White Christmas in Boston. Not right now, but they're predicting that we're going to have, like Christmas Day is going to be super cold. It's going to be a little mild before that. But we're going to get like a real stark cold front. And for you weather aficionados, you know, on the leading edge of a cold front, we often wring the moisture out of the front we're pushing out of the way. And it usually will start out with a little bit of rain. And if the cold front is cold enough, it can be snow. And right now they're talking we may have a dusting, just enough to make everything white and sort of picturesque by the morning, but we'll see. Right now they're calling for a dusting of snow overnight, but, you know, that could just be the stations going, you know, could we see snow by Christmas? And they're like, sure. Yum brisket. I'm with you, buddy. I do like the brisket. There's a place in Dedham, Blue Ribbon. They originally, they have a place in Newton, too. And, that place is good. I'm dreaming of a crab Christmas, yeah. Should have been a weatherman. Yeah, I like weather. It's like, it's the only thing that genuinely affects me. Polar vortex next month, maybe. We'll see. We usually get a little something out of the north. Our friends from the north. Yeah, dusting is 14 inches around here. That's a dusting. What's up, Tim Doog? Predicting some snow in London. Now, do you get a lot of... I would think that London doesn't get a ton of snow. It seems like they're more like Seattle in that it's moist, but it's more rain. Because with that moisture energy, it brings just enough warmth where you don't get snow. You stay with mostly... I would think Scotland, you probably see more snow. But down in like London, which is so much, you know, further south, maybe not so much snow per se. I could be totally wrong. Steve, what model is that carbon? Don't tell me what you paid. I know it was $300. It's actually a lot more than $300. This is a DC 127, and I want to say I paid either $5.99 or $6.50. It could have been $6.50. It's got a bird's eye maple neck, stainless steel frets. You know, full-on neck through. Locking tuners. And I really like the 2.4. I think they call that the Holdsworth headstock, the Allen Holdsworth. Festivus is tomorrow, yeah. Get apart with that Becker? Yeah, sure. Right, Krellbar? Sure. Yeah, I'll dump the Becker. How much you paying? I'm in Scotland, no snow the rest of the year. Really? Really? I would think he'd have more snow up there, no? No, with that far north, I would think it'd be Snow City. That's crazy. We bark at the moon. It's like a crescent moon. How about the Fender Performance Series, Steve? Yeah, so you guys know about that. I think it's a replacement for the Special. It's their new USA line. It's made in USA. It's a combination of some bodies are matte finish and some bodies are, a satin finish and some bodies are gloss. Are they all maple or do they have some rosewood? Not really sure. And but they're cheap, right? They're like, is it $9.99 is what their target price point? It's basically to replace the American Special, American Performer. I'm trying to think of what else was in it. Was it some special pickups or something? You'd think I'd know this. I know more about Ozone than I do about the new Performer Series. Try the Paul Gilbert scale again. All right, it's remember this is I think it's originally a Sean Lane lick, right? Maybe a little easier. Right? Ow. Get our snow in Scotland from January, February usually. That's kind of like with us too. We do see some December snow, but most of ours is like January, February. Then we always get like one in March. It's all heavy, wet snow because it's like later in the season. We had a real bad one, April Fool's Day, April 1st one year. We had it was like 3 feet of frickin' snow. I have a Player Series, that's good, yeah. I think the Performer Series is, so the Players, I think, are made in Mexico, and I think the Performer is USA made. Oh. My coffee's right here. Good, thanks for the reminder. This dude's got my back. Thanks, you saved my life. But now I'm out. Tennis Arvanitis rules. Yeah, he is awesome. One of my favorite players on YouTube. And he will be at the NAMM show. And we're planning on meeting up in St. Paul. And I'll have a lot more on that. I actually have a big NAMM social going on at the NAMM show this year. I'm setting up a red carpet at the Framus booth. I had them set up a jam room, which will be open for guitar players and bass players. I'm really hoping to get some jamming done at the NAMM show. It's going to be the jam show this year. The NAMM show is the jam show. And I'm really, really looking forward to the NAMM jams. See, it writes itself, for Christ's sakes. So I'm really, really looking forward to this. I'll set it up for next time, but basically they hooked me up at Framus, and it should be a good time with my dynamic personality. So what have you liked at NAMM so far? What do you think of Phil X? Awesome dude, good friend, and general all-around good guy, and an amazing guitar player. But you know, just as a person, he's just like one of the best dudes I've met as a part of the whole YouTube thing. Really, really good guy. Playing metal, Steve Miller, right? Okay, so let's see. Now this guy, who is Greek, he's helping me here. It's pronounced Arvanites. Okay, see, you're the level-headed friend from Greece I've never had. That's good to know, because you know, we Americans Americanize everything, so that's good to know. Arvanites, good to know. Okay. Something like that. Oh, well, he never sees any of my messages. What message? What message? Now I want to know. Now I want to know. What's up, Terry? Thoughts on Steve Terberry? Really like that guy. He's funny, and he makes fun of himself. And he's a hot shit player, too. Really like him. He's one of my favorite YouTubers, quite frankly. Christmas time is here. I don't think I know this. I don't know it. Sorry. It's going by a little fast. Just an idea, Phil, as a guest. What do you think? I'd love to, but, you know, if he's in town and, you know, when they're touring, hey, what's up, Tone King? What's up, buddy? You know, when they're in town and they're touring, they don't have a ton of time. Where do you buy an Ozo generator? Where do you buy anything? Amazon. Yeah, Terberry's a monster guitar player. He really is, right? And he's funny. He, you know, the guy is, he's funny. Kramer at NAMM. Kramer will be at NAMM. Kramer will be displaying new things. They actually tagged me, and I think they might even tag Tone King and their release a few. My condenser again, Jesus. Yeah, they tagged me in a couple of Instagram posts because they're coming out with new Kramers, and I'll be all over it. I'll run right up there. Hey, what's up, Cameron? Cameron Cooper here too. The Coop in town. Yeah, I wish Stevie T, I guess Stevie T is not, he doesn't like to fly. But I wish he would so we could come to the NAMM show. Play some Steel Panther? All right. See if I may be getting an SM1 red with the MGs. Really nice. Yeah, the SM1. That's a good guitar. Did you find one used, or are you going through Gibson? What's up, Johnny Bean? Oh, yeah, thanks for the Christmas tune. It's been a few years. It has. I was like, oh my. And then, as I was saying earlier, I don't know if you were on here for that, but I started a blues version of Jingle Bells. And I just wasn't feeling it. It just, I lost interest in it. And so I switched from that to this other one, which I enjoyed making a lot more. I want to say that was 9 tracks, a drum track, which is like a 3/4 swing, and then I want to say 3 rhythm tracks, all with the green guitar, all with that guitar, and then 2 lead tracks down low, or maybe even 3 lead tracks down low, and then 1 lead track up high, and then the bass track. And all you're seeing is I recorded myself when I laid down the tracks, and I'm just switching from various ones that I shot, as I was recording it. To be honest, I think I could have done more at the end. I kind of played it straight, and I regret it. I was just running out of time. It's like I was up this morning, and I had it rendered by the, musically, like the audio was done. And of course, I had the audio done like yesterday, like early afternoon. I did the last of the bass parts, I think, early yesterday. Then I started putting together the, early yesterday I started to do the rest of the bass parts. And then I was like, all right, well, this is done. And then I listened back to it. I said, oh, it's too busy. It's all cluttered. And then I had to go back and I had to set up, like, starting points for certain tracks and, bring some tracks out. I basically had to mix it. It took me a long time. It took me a few hours to mix that thing. But I was pretty happy with the way it came out. By the time I was done, I was happy. But boy, I was like, God, this is like my wife says, everything takes 3 times longer than you estimate. Everything. And boy, she's right. And so, when that was finally done musically, then I had to bring it in, and then I had to bring over 160 gigs of 4K footage. 160 gigs of 4K footage that I shot while laying those tracks down. That's insane. And then I had to fish through the footage, find the one, and it's pretty easy. It's the last one, because once I got a good track down, I stopped recording. So I just had to go through the video footage and get to the last take of each one and cut out everything else. Oh my God, what a pain in the ass. But it finally got done. I agree with the 3 times we're right. It really does. It really does. It's crazy. See you, Chaotic One. Have a good one, man. Merry Christmas. What do you use? I have Sonar, the old one, and I use Reaper, but I swear to God I use Reaper like 99% of the time now. I don't even go back to Sonar anymore. I'm pretty much all Reaper right now. Jamie Lewis says I should check out Studio One. He was a big fan of that, but I don't know. We'll see. I think Reaper. I used Reaper to record that yesterday. It was all Reaper. like Explorers. You know, I kind of like Explorers. I've always thought of, you know, getting one, but I don't know, for whatever reason, I just never got one. I think I'm too old for an Explorer now. You know? Still using TH3? Yeah, I'm using it right now. You're soaking in it. It's like a Palmolive commercial. You're soaking in it right now. Steve, how did you like TTK's music video? I thought it was awesome. I thought that was great. I thought the sound was really good on that, man. Was that sonar? You just said you use sonar 100% of the time. Was that what you used to record that? Was that all sonar and sonar stuff, I'm assuming? I thought you were Jewish, Steve at Boston. No, I am born and raised Catholic. Midnight Mover by Accept. No, but I remember that song. Midnight Mover, right. And don't forget Midnight Maniac by, who's that band? Oh, God. Ain't the cool in the morning. Steve, I had someone produce it for me, which is why it's not great to my side, but I hope people can do work better than me. I hear you, buddy. So did you play the guitar on it, or did you just give him the riff and he played the guitar? Or did you play the guitar and he just produced it? I'm a little confused. Crocus, thank you. Is it me or is it not wide? It's not. It's an illusion. It's an optical illusion because the headstock is so small. Look how small that headstock is compared to my hand, right? It's an optical illusion. The headstock is so small. You're like, wow, that net seems really wide, but it's not. It's not. It's normal. It's just the normal nut, you know. You like that? You like that, Tone King? You like that tone? Tone King says I get good tone. That's good. It's TH3. It's TH3. It's the you know, the software. I get good results with it. Breaking the law. Help if I played the right notes. Oh, see if he went to any progressive tech stuff. Not really. The closest I get to like out there stuff is really like John Scofield, Mike Stern. I'm a big fan of John Scofield. He's got a couple of albums lately I've been just going crazy over. He's got one that's it's basically him with like I think it's almost like a New Orleans band, right, or some sort of like R&B band. I forget the name of it, but it's so killer. He's got a couple of funk albums that I just love. Oh. So I'm trying to catch up here, guys. Great riff makers are almost an endangered species. Yeah, well, the era of the riff is over, right? It's all, that's sort of, I mean, the closest we're getting is like the Greta, that Greta Van Fleet. I mean, they're the only band putting out riff-based tunes. I mean, other than like, you know, some, there's your new riff, right? That's your riff for the modern era. Thanks, Todd. Thanks so much. Merry Christmas to you, too. New riffs produced by the Chainsmokers, right? Start Me Up. Well, that's in a drop tuning, but it's generally like... I think it's here. was informed that Doorman Picks and Tea will arrive on Christmas Eve. Yeah, it was a Black Friday thing, and then he had to actually make the stuff and print it all up. And I think he took orders up until November 30th. And then it was like a race against time to get everyone's orders out. So he shipped me an order, but I don't think it's going to come till after Christmas. Just because it's coming all the way from Belarus. And even though it's shipped, I think, on the 20th or the 19th, it probably won't be here by the 25th. Went to meet Geddy Lee this week at his book signing. Book about bass is pretty cool. Yeah, that book looks awesome. I should have asked Santa for that. That's and it's his collection, right? It's all bases from his collection. And he was on a radio show recently, and damn, he should. Oh, thanks so much, Peter. Well, very much appreciated, man. Merry Christmas. I just thought Geddy was so down to earth, and he just talked about the addiction. He goes, it's not about owning it. It's all about the chase. He goes, you want a guitar and you're totally obsessed about it, and then you finally own it, and then you're just on to the next one. He goes, it's the nature of the collector. He goes, it's a total addiction. And boy, he really nailed it. And I really want to, and it comes in like a bunch of different ones. I don't know how much the one in the briefcase cost. But, it's probably expensive. I want to say it's like, is it like $60 or $70 for the book, for the basic book? And then he's got a couple of tiers above it. And his wine cellar, right? Yeah, he's a wine collector and baseball stuff. He's way into the baseball balls. He's into signed baseballs, and he's really been collecting those for a lot of years. So he's got a few collections going. Do you know any Triumph songs? I don't think I do. I want to play Fight the Good Fight, and it sounds like Three Doors Down. Oh, thanks, Metal God. Can you play Working Man by Rush? Yeah. Can I? Exactly, Terry. Respect the mods, damn it. Don't make me come over there. Hey, Steve, do you have any TH3 presets you'd like to share with TH3? I don't know if TH3 will work with TH2. I don't know if that bank is backwards compatible. I honestly don't know. I'm going to guess it wouldn't be. Because I think some of the patches in my And those banks, I just don't think was available in TH2. I don't think the amp came out until TH3. So I don't think it will work in TH2, unfortunately. Sorry. Thanks, Tank Shred. You're awesome. You have a wonderful Christmas. Yeah, Neil Peart is no longer drumming his left Rush. Black Diamond just wrote. Yeah, you know what? The guy, Getty talked about that. He said, the guy's a perfectionist, and it's a very taxing, job. And, he's in his 60s now, and he just physically can't do it. 3-hour shows, night after night. And he was just done. And I guess, from what I understand, he stopped playing drums. He's like, yeah, okay, that was sort of part of my life, and now I'm going to move on from that. And, whatever he wants to do is okay by me. He's given enough. Neil's given us enough. Oh, thanks, Kurt. Thanks so much, buddy. Happy holidays to you, too. Yeah, and Getty was talking about that, and he basically said, look, I've been focused on the book. That was a lot of work to compile that book and put it all together with a photographer and everything, and get everything all together. So, he's sort of been just doing that for a while. But like he said, he goes, I'm a musician. At some point, I'm going to go back to, like, making and producing music. And he may do something with Alex. I mean, he said he seems to think that he and Alex would do something together. So who knows what could happen. It wouldn't be called Rush, though. I think in deference to Neil, they would just say, well, that was that band, and now we're over, and now we're going to call ourselves, like, Shrub or something, right? Like, sure. Like Rush backwards. Oh, yeah, rad. Yeah, 408 pages, right? And he plans to visit Vegas. Vegas, my wife and I have talked about it. We're thinking about taking the kids. The thing about Vegas is you can go there really cheap if you don't gamble. So we've thought about it, but I don't know. That may not be enough. It's pretty much a hotel vacation, right? You're pretty much going to stay at your hotel and hang out at the pool and, and do all that. So maybe. Last time when was the last time I was in Vegas? It's been a while. Oh, geez, it's been about 20 years. I think the last time I was there was like 97, 98, 97, I think. Any Def Leppard riffs? I don't know. Not really. Yeah, call it Leafson, right? Fast, right? That's the only fast way riff I know. Oh man, this guitar is kind of hurting my shoulder here. Better, even though it's lighter than that last one. Oh man. What's your top 5 bands? I don't know. I could have to give that a lot of thought. It's hard to think about. Because, you know, inevitably I would leave someone off and be like, oh, no, wait, that's it. That's it. I can't, you know, it's like, do we need to choose? We hear some Yngwie. I played that earlier. Check it out earlier. I don't really know Yngwie. Can't find that exact model anywhere. What, the guitar? This exact guitar model? That's because almost everything by Carvin is custom made, right? I've been a fan for years. My work. Ever take time to check out some of your work? Yeah, man. I'll check it out. Absolutely. Not rush, but slowly shuffle. I can't believe it's 8:54. Damn, this night flew by, huh? Yeah, TK, you can do 2/4, but you can't do 4/2. Yeah, which feels like a distinction without a difference, but apparently that's the deal. You know. Yeah, Gary, I don't think anyone can do 4/2. Only 2/4. And, you know, there's an interesting, you know, it could be argued that like I said, if it's only decorative and it's not functional, then you can't have a patent, right? So if the function is that it's straight, right, that the strings don't bend, well, 2/4 gives you the same result. So again, it's sort of a weird thing where I don't know how strong that patent is. The patent feels a little weak. Like it wouldn't take much to. It's like a paper patent, right? It could just easily be bowled over by just even the slightest objection. So I'm not really sure, but it feels a bit arbitrary. And if they're claiming that it's 4/2 because that tells you that it's a Music Man, then that's a trademark, right? 4/2 would be trademark to say, when you see 4/2, I think of a brand, right? What they did was they got a patent which says when it's 4/2, that's some like improvement in design. And it's like, it wasn't obvious. And the result is like some novel new way to approach a problem. And mainly tuning, right? The strings go straight instead of curving. Again, what's the difference between 4/2 and 2/4, right? The end result, it's a distinction without a difference. So, I wouldn't doubt if someone someday maybe gave them a little bit of grief. Oh, well, like all patents, someday the patent will expire. But it feels more like a trademark than a patent, like in application. We're on the 3-minute warning. Jesus! Yeah, I think they have it patented, Steve. All right, guys, I think we're going to wrap it up. We're at 8:58. I'm screwing that up. Play the Rosewood Strat. That one's a little buried. That's a little tricky to get to, but you know, the whole thing next week is just to let you know, next week I'm going to do the year-end review. So I'll do all the gear of the year, the year in gear, and I got a few things coming up, and a lot more produced videos will be coming up, more so than the live shows, because my schedule is finally starting to clear out, so that leaves time for produced videos. So we're getting there, little by little. I actually hadn't even plugged in my camera to my rig, and until I recorded that the Christmas song, or really the Any Gig video, which I even did before that. I hadn't plugged my camera into the rig since I got back from GitCon. Think about that. October, all of November, most of December, I hadn't even plugged my rig in because I just didn't have the time. So it was just crazy. All right, dudes. Well, we'll call it a night here. We're almost at 9. We'll count down to 9 right now. All right, dudes. All right. Thanks to everybody who hung out tonight. Merry Christmas to everybody. And I might be back in a week. We'll see how I go. Maybe I'll do a New Year's spectacular. That sounds better than it probably will be. But, promotion. Little promotional activity. Maybe I'll see you in a week. Maybe not. We'll see. But I'll definitely have a new video out next week. Gonna do, the year in gear. And a whole bunch of other stuff. So we're getting there. And I'll get to, this amp and that thing and a whole bunch of stuff. All this stuff. All right. No, you rock. All right. I'm scrolling up. It's time to scroll up. No, you Christmas. All right, here we go. I'm scrolling. I am scrolling right now. Yeah, we've been going 2 hours, 3 minutes. Pretty awesome. All right, dudes. Well, as always, no, you rock. Thanks so much for hanging out, and rock on.